Tesla is increasing the Model Y prices in the US and Canada as well. If you remember, Tesla said it would increase the price in Canada, and now that just happened. This is for the Model Y. And now Tesla is saying that prices will also go up by $1,000 for all Model Y trims in the US on April 1st. The best part is Elon actually reposted this, further proving to all of us that Elon is paying attention to Tesla. If you remember earlier when Tesla was cutting prices, Elon didn't really repost these, but now when there's a small change within Tesla, Elon is onto it and he's posting it to his main timeline. This already got 11.4 million views. And to me, in the long term as a Tesla stock investor, Elon paying a lot of attention to Tesla is very bullish to me. You don't want to bet against Elon when he pays close attention. Now, in a way, instead of doing an end of the quarter discount, Tesla is basically doing the opposite, where Tesla is trying to get more orders right now by telling everyone the price is going to go up soon. So in a way, it accomplishes the exact same thing, but traders and some investors will actually see this as a positive in the long term. I also like how they did it in Canada first, just to get the word out first and let everyone know, hey, look, we are actually serious. Look at what happened in Canada already. It is coming here to the US as well. We're not playing around, which creates more urgency. And actually, Tesla is not just increasing the price in the US and Canada, it is doing so also in Europe. In Europe, the prices will increase by 2,000 euros and it will be done on March 22nd. Troy, though, is not exactly feeling very bullish about these price increases. Tesla's message is that people should buy a Model Y before the end of this month. This is related to current inventory levels, meaning they have lots of Model Ys waiting for buyers. I'm trying to help people interpret this correctly instead of the exact opposite way. Sawyer says this is news. People who buy used Teslas for under $25,000 can now receive a federal tax credit of up to $4,000 or up to 30% of the purchase price, whichever value is less, according to Tesla's used car webpage. I don't think this is news, but it's news in a sense that Tesla just put this on its website. So maybe before, if you bought from Tesla directly, you couldn't get it, but now you can, but that program is not new. Because, for example, the vehicle must be purchased from a dealer, and Tesla under this definition is considered a dealer, but maybe they didn't have their paperwork sorted out. I'm not sure. Either way, this is great. And some older used Teslas are now really affordable, and some will be under that $25,000 limit. Tesla staff at Gigafactory Berlin will go to the voting booth next week to select their new work council for the next 2 years. If you remember, a union tried to interfere with this election because they said Tesla did not announce the election early enough, therefore there's not enough time to select more candidates from the union. That went to court basically, and the court said, no, everything's fine. This, by the way, could be another reason why Elon was in Germany just now. He perhaps wanted to make sure that all the workers there are happy and that they don't need to join a union because they are going to get great working conditions anyway. Ray is experiencing V12.3 for the first time. I think it's his first FSD 12 experience. It's a gigantic leap forward from V11, he says. I don't have V12 yet, sadly. In the meantime, this is FSD in China. I think it's turning left from a lane where you're only supposed to go straight or right. And wow, it just almost caused an accident. Not yet though, almost, but no accident yet so far. And people over there do drive more aggressively than over here, but people are also saying that the vehicle was controlled from the headquarters, and it's not apparent to me that it was fully autonomous actually. Alex says any automaker CEOs who don't call Elon this weekend to ask to be the first in line to license FSD are making the biggest mistake of their business lives. Not that I expect them to, because they have emphatically proven in the past that they are incredibly dumb and how yet to convince me that they are beginning to understand. Elon actually replied with a yep to Alex's post. It's because it is true. I love posts from Dylan. He usually has pretty good insight. The thing about Tesla's FSD V12.3 is not really about what we are seeing right now. The real excitement should be around what happens when this goes to a wide release and Tesla can start gathering useful data and hopefully work through problems quickly. Since at the core is proper video in, through the net it goes, things happen, new output next time. The potential rate of improvement is the real magic here, no, or at least effectively no manual code to be written. It's true Tesla has been compute constrained in the past, but Elon has recently said that issue is being resolved fast. As I have said many times now, getting to watch V12 over the next 12 months should be really interesting and exciting. I'm not one to predict timelines, but given how many people have written off Tesla figuring this out, if it happens when most aren't expecting it, the Tesla stock fireworks will be even better. We're talking about a huge rally. If it happens simultaneously with interest rates coming down, next generation entering production, Cybertruck at scale, Semi in production, and Tesla's margins and EPS trending back up, let's just say, I wouldn't want to miss that boat. Could be historic after a 4+ year consolidation / drawdown. As I have been saying for weeks, if I had to guess, I think there's more pain ahead for Tesla, but to everyone who is off the ride right now, Godspeed for timing your re-entry. Every single point that Dylan made here, I agree with all of them 100%. And that's why I am staying in Tesla stock. And AJ is incredibly excited. Guys, I keep repeating myself, this looks like a real deal for the first time. Nobody can accuse Chuck to be among the sugarcoaters. When it comes to FSD beta testers, Chuck has been very direct and very honest, and he does not sugarcoat anything. And he says, oh my god, 40 minutes of a first impressions drive, and I threw everything at FSD beta v12.3, no disengagements, one small intervention, that I probably was being a defensive driver. So probably he didn't even need to intervene there. Video, as soon as I can get it all downloaded and rendered, will probably be this afternoon. Wow, this is all I could say. Nice work, Tesla AI team. But wait, it gets better. Well, you do have the advantage of 93% of the training data being in your neighborhood, but Chuck explains that he left the neighborhood for this drive. As I'm recording this, the video is not out yet. AJ made some good points here. I get that there is a lot of skepticism around Tesla's FSD. The reasons are well known. Progress appeared to be a lot slower than what people expected and what people felt they were promised. I would urge you to leave all this baggage behind and try to look at the current stage with a fresh, unbiased eye. V12 demonstrated some truly remarkable progress. Don't be blinded by your prior exuberance. Paradoxically, your prior optimism may just have made you too pessimistic now. That's a big point. Imagine after all these years of hoping it's about to work, and just as it is about to work, you lost patience and gave up. This would truly be the worst outcome. Omar says, looks like my dad got FSD beta 12.3. Now I can see how it performs on hardware 3 compared to hardware 4. Both are 2023 Model S, so very little variation except autopilot hardware. Perfectly controlled experiment. If you remember when Elon did that first FSD V12 demonstration in his car, the car was running on hardware 3, so it doesn't necessarily mean that hardware 4 will actually perform better than hardware 3. So many people are getting FSD beta 12.3. I'm going to go check. Maybe I'm getting it too. I just came back from my car. It's not there. I don't have it. I'm still on version 11. Face Rug, who has 25.2 million subscribers, just posted this video picking up Uber riders in a Tesla Cybertruck. That's free advertising for Tesla, so this is great. People are not learning their lessons. Looks like another Tesla owner is okay being potentially blacklisted. They have put their Cybertruck up for auction on Cars and Bids. The current bid is 117,000 with 7 days left. And actually now it is up to $133,000 with 6 days left. And you can even ask questions on here. Does the agreement from Tesla forbid sale within 12 months? As the new owner, you would have no agreement with Tesla. Seller clearly knows they are violating a contract selling this car. Fraud, right? Clearly. Response, the seller? This is wild. Anyway, I am pretty sure Tesla has been alerted to this. If you work at Tesla, you can double check. Here's the VIN number. Something doesn't quite add up here. I placed a reservation just a few weeks ago for a Cybertruck Founder series. I'm not going forward with it, but was just notified to place my order with delivery as soon as April. And it includes 2 chargers, inverter, free FSD, and more. Seems like Tesla has very little demand. Not good. Ray responds by saying that this is just shenanigans from the Tesla bears. He says, I placed 2 Cybertruck orders 3 days after unveil in 2019. How come I haven't received a notification from Tesla? Here's another person saying that he placed his order the morning after the unveil event, and he's about number 200,000 in the queue. Anyway, the Tesla bear is talking about a Foundation Series Cybertruck. I'm not sure if Ray is talking about a Foundation Series Cybertruck or just a regular version. So I asked him and I'm waiting for his reply. And Ray actually just responded to me very quickly. He said he's referring to not getting a notification for his Foundation Series Cybertruck. The adaptive high beams feature has been released in China, and maybe it will be coming to the US soon too. We know that Tesla is working on it. Tesla China won the Excellent Open Innovation Company Award and 2023 Excellent Low Carbon Demonstration Case for its green technology. Tesla Giga Shanghai has won the UL 2799 Waste Landfill Zero Platinum certification in China and recycles more than 93% of its total waste from the plant. This was big enough for Sawyer to actually repost this. This is a V12.3 roundabout test. Version 11 could not really handle this.
Roundabout, there's a car in front of us and FedEx truck to the right. Should take the right away. Car's coming. 2 lanes. Oh, that was buttery smooth. Wow.
There was a conversation between Farzad and James. 3 things that can and would change sentiment and business results for Tesla in a hurry. Number 1, if Tesla got serious about mass advertising and we stop seeing incentives and or inventory discounts and or backlog grows with steady production. Number 2, if Tesla solves the 4680 ramp with the dry manufacturing process, we would see Tesla bringing back the 4680 Model Y. If V12 turns out to be the real deal, we would need to see people from a variety of states posting about not needing to intervene for weeks, many consecutive days and weeks, not a 45-minute drive here and there. Farzad replies with, in my opinion, the only thing that will cause Tesla stock to make a material move higher is when they start recognizing monthly subscription revenue from FSD V12. Becomes a very simple math exercise going forward, especially once you start modeling for compact car. In my opinion, it's a head scratcher that so many people are doubting that this will happen at all. Every sign points to this being the case, but we will see. I would disagree with Farzad. I would agree more with James. I don't think FSD is the only thing that can drive Tesla stock much higher very quickly. I mean, just go back to last year, end of May, early June. Tesla stock went to almost $300, more than a 50% increase in a very short period of time, just because a few companies announced that they are going to be using Tesla's charging standard going forward. There was a bit more to it, but that was basically the thing that started the rally. If Tesla also announces the next generation vehicle, they show it to us, they let us order it, and then if Tesla somehow gets ahead of the production timeline, I think that would also have a pretty big impact on the stock. So I see many ways for Tesla stock to go up, way up. If you remember, Morgan Stanley not a long time ago released this note in which they incorporated Dojo into their price target, and suddenly the stock rallied that same day. So if you had multiple analysts doing things like that, yeah, the stock, I believe, would rally too. James also replied to this: the thought of reducing, eliminating incentives, discounts may be good for the stock price, but does it hinder the mission? Are those two things diametrically opposed? No, this is a common misconception in my opinion. Tesla doing well financially accelerates the mission. It will not hinder it. Look at what has happened to the EV market since Tesla has gutted its value. All other pure EV players are basically bankrupt. Legacy auto is pulling back or canceling investments, delaying new factories, etc. There needs to be a return on investment for companies to invest in EVs. This probably wasn't their intention, but it is what has happened. Also, if Tesla were to show some leadership and advertise, the whole market would grow because overall consumer awareness would increase. All players would benefit and the only losers would be legacy ICE manufacturers. Like I said many times, Tesla cutting the price impacts the competition negatively, which for Tesla selfishly in the long term, I think is a good thing. I'm talking here strictly just as a Tesla stock investor. But when Tesla cuts the price, in theory at least, it should increase the number of vehicles sold because the prices are now cheaper, and there is media attention every time Tesla cuts prices by quite a bit. The media reports on it. There are certainly many people unaware of Tesla's new pricing, but there are many people unaware of Tesla's new pricing, but also there are quite a few people that are already aware. Largely, these are people that follow Tesla to some degree relatively closely or are aware of Tesla as a company fairly well. So I do see a big opportunity in Tesla potentially advertising to everyone and letting everyone know, hey, look, our prices have come down. I see that as a potential short-term catalyst. The moment Tesla very seriously focuses on advertising, I think it would be a positive, likely, if Tesla does it right. I think the demand would increase substantially for the Model Y and the Model 3. Chuck actually just released that drive, so let's take a look.
I've already done a little bit of driving this morning before dark, but this unprotected left, of course, there's the creep limit, there's the full stop, and let's see what kind of traffic. Got a little bit of traffic here, which is great, and it needs to wait. It looks like it's gonna have to wait a little bit, which is great. Creep limit is still there. It feels like it could go out a little bit further according to the creep limit, but I'm very comfortable where it is. And it has a good visibility angle for about 4 seconds. And right after this red truck, we're wide open. And it looks like it should roll this straight through the median. And it didn't do the offset to the right. And then straight into the left lane. Even going over those bumps just a little bit. So it went straight to the left lane. I'm gonna go ahead and edit the trip, take apart my south, put in the U-turn. Should recalculate pretty easily, and it did. Nice U-turn there. And let's see what it does. So this next intersection, it has never done a U-turn. It's got some traffic to look for, so I'm a little bit nervous if it tries a U-turn. It's gonna be, okay, this is a roller. There's no oncoming traffic. So let's see what it does for the first time here. An oncoming car coming there. It's going slowly, a little slower than I like, I'm gonna let it go. Okay, and a nice boost there. It did it. All right, Tesla AI, that is 2 for 2. Now, I'm gonna critique that a little bit. There was a 50-mile-an-hour car oncoming, and it did not have a sense of urgency doing that U-turn. I was getting a little bit nervous that I was kind of in the middle of a road and I needed to get my U-turn done with the approaching car. So if I have a critique on that U-turn, it's that once you commit to doing it, you kind of need to get up and go, because what you're doing is you're changing your perspective of the oncoming cars. With the B-pillar, your forward camera is no longer available, and that traffic that was going about 55 miles an hour right there, this car just to the left of me, was rapidly approaching and saw me slowly doing a U-turn. But either way, let's just acknowledge the function of U-turns in version 12 just appeared based on training data. They have stated that they did not program U-turns into the software. It just appeared through the training data set.
Good news for SpaceX. SpaceX is reportedly building a network of hundreds of spy satellites under a contract with the U.S. intelligence agency. The network is being built by SpaceX's Starshield business unit under a $1.8 billion contract signed in 2021. If successful, Reuters sources said the program would significantly advance the ability of the US government and military to quickly spot potential targets almost anywhere on the globe. Now, this may not be the best news for Tesla exactly, because the Chinese government probably does not like the idea of letting in a company run by Elon Musk, and that same person is running SpaceX, which potentially provides military technology to its rival. Tesla China is offering another promotion for its vehicles, specifically for the Model S and X. You can get any color free of charge starting on March 16th. It looks like Tesla could be releasing an illuminated door sill trim plate for the Cybertruck soon, according to a new trademark filing. More details are now emerging why there's a feud between Elon Musk and Don Lemon. Don Lemon demanded Tesla Cybertruck $5 million advance equity in X before Elon Musk canned him. On top of all of that, he also asked for an $8 million salary and the right to approve any changes in X policy as it relates to news content, according to a document reviewed by the Post. And there's more. He also demanded for a private jet flight to Vegas, a suite for him and his fiance, and that the company pay for the day drinking and massages. However, Elon Musk agreed to do the interview with Don Lemon despite the fact that he was aware of some of the Lemon's outlandish demands. The proposal reviewed by the Post was sent from Lemon's agents at United Talent Agency to X's leadership in December. The partnership was announced in January, but an X spokesperson told the Post that the company did not have a final or signed agreement with Don Lemon or the Don Lemon Show before Musk sat down for the explosive interview last week, which will air, I believe, on Monday. The interview is 1.5 hours long, and it included testy exchanges about Musk's political leanings, his past drug use, and the site's content moderation policy. Lemon also asked for executive assistance as well as a marketing budget that ranged from $10 to $15 million. But a spokesperson for Lemon told the Post, "There's nothing in your list of demands that you claim Don made of X that is true, literally nothing." My assessment of this whole situation is that Tesla does not make lemons, and therefore X is not going to hire any. I am, however, really looking forward to the interview on Monday with Don Lemon and Elon Musk. I do like when an opposing force interviews someone. Sometimes a few things come out that we wouldn't know about that person, even if the whole interview generally sucks. And it will also be interesting to see probably a different side of Elon, because it sounded like the interview was very contentious. And Elon actually responded to this story, "When life gives you lemons, ... which I take as Elon confirming that everything, or mostly everything said in the article, is absolutely true. There's another clip from that interview which it just shows you how contentious the interview was. Take a look at this.
You recently met with Donald Trump in Florida. What did you guys talk about?
I was at a breakfast at a friend's place, and Donald Trump came by. That's it.
What did you discuss?
I don't. Let's just say he did most of the talking.
Did he ask you for money?
He didn't.
Are you going to loan him money to help pay his legal bills?
I'm not paying his legal bills in any way, shape, or form.
Did he ask you for a donation?
No.
Are you leaning towards anyone?
No.
You're not leaning towards anyone? Because you've been very...
Well, I'm leaning away from Biden.
You're leaning... You talk about your ketamine use and depression. You also have said... And
the reason I should say, the reason I mentioned the ketamine prescription on the X platform was because I thought maybe this is something that could help other people. That's why I mentioned it. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but I would say if someone has depression issues, they should consider talking to their doctor about ketamine instead of SSRIs.
That's it for today's video. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. I am actually quite surprised by how much positive feedback there was under this video that I posted about these two guys. So I will probably post another one. I am looking into them more at the moment. Again, this is not an endorsement of the Tates, but I just want to see for myself what happened there because my 14-year-old brother is asked about them and I don't know for sure if they're guilty or not. So I'm just looking into the situation myself and coming to my own conclusions. I will post another video sometime probably next week, unless a serious issue arises, because if you read this comment, you know exactly what's going on. Thank you for your feedback and I will see you tomorrow.